Oh my goodness, I'm finally doing it. I'm finally looking at the Bumblebee Movie Skywarp. Studio series, of course. Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm the Defective Butcher, and thank you for tuning in to yet another figure review. Today we're taking a look at this Skywarp from the Bumblebee Movie, and oh boy, I've been putting this thing off for so long. Don't really have a reason why, just never got around to doing Skywarp. So, let's get into it, shall we? So starting with the box actually looks fairly decent. You can see it's the standard Studio Series box that we've all gotten accustomed to by now. And yeah, it's got that lovely image of Skywarp there, just looking badass as he usually does. And the Bumblebee Movie up there. Right side of the box, you see Skywarp again. And then the back, showcasing the figure and the Cybertron form. And, of course, because it's Studio Series, it comes with a backdrop. And then here's the other side, with a close-up image of that promo art. And that's more or less it. There's the top. Bottom's, of course, got nothing on it. So let's go ahead and get into the figure. So in case you haven't guessed who Skywarp is by now, he is one of Starscream's Seekers that primarily dons the color purple, and he looks awesome. This is my favorite iteration, actually. Fun fact, the Bumblebee Movie started my favorite iteration of the Seeker design. I absolutely love the way the Seekers look in this movie, and I think it's an absolute crime we didn't get to see more of them. I hate that we only saw Starscream on screen for like 2 seconds, dude. What the hell was that all about? I love this design so much. I wish we got to see more of it before we saw an inaccurate rendition of Blitzwing. You know, the guy that's supposed to be a jet and a tank and this guy, a triple changer. Blitzwing is a triple changer, not a standard Seeker. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that little rant, but what I'm not sorry about is how absolutely awesome this guy looks. Look at him. He looks amazing, and yeah, if you don't know what Studio Series is by now, Studio Series is Takara's attempt at making more accurate iterations of Transformers. This guy looks pretty dang good. It looks pretty dang close to the source material, that being the Bumblebee Movie, and whenever you compare it side to side, obviously there's some things that don't look quite right, but it's all part of compromises, man. And I know the box wants you to display him wings down like that, but whenever you look up Skywarp from the Bumblebee Movie, they actually display him wings up. Okay, so apparently even people that found Skywarp in the Bumblebee Movie show the screenshot, and in the screenshots his wings are up like so. So yeah, not too sure what Studio Series is doing, but it is what it is, I guess. Can't get too mad at them. I don't know, man. Let's finally start with the review, shall we? Starting with the paint. He is so good to look at, dude. He's got paint all over him. And these purples look nice. This orange for the cockpits looks pretty good. And like the metallic grays everywhere, like this metallic silver up here looks pretty dang good. The eyes look great, even though they're kind of sunken in there and kind of small, hard to see. But if you can see them, they look pretty good. Oh. And then just like the differing paint all over the place, just looks fantastic. I love that some of the paint here is actually glossy to catch light to actually look like metal, and it's very nice. And these Decepticon logos here are painted up quite nicely as well. So I know this was a bit of a short segment, but paint, gold star. It looks freaking nice, dude. I know it could look better, but at the same time it could look a lot worse. Let's go ahead and move on to articulation before I lose my mind. I'm excited to get to articulation. Paint, gold star. Articulation, let's go. So the head will be on a ball joint peg. He can look down exactly that far, but he can look up, holy hell, that far. And To be honest, that's kind of if you cheese it. The head, I'm not sure where it's supposed to be sitting inside there. It goes about that deep, and if you do it that deep, you get almost no articulation with it at all. It's very stiff and hard. But you can cheese it a little and pull the head to the front, and you get suddenly so much range. It's actually decent, and you can get an idea of how deep it goes right there. I just realized I skipped right over detail for articulation. Oh well. Moving right along to the arms. This shoulder, they can go a full 360. Without anything getting in the way. You could have the arms out like this, but because there's a wing there, they cannot. You can go out like that with the arm. It can, of course, do this independently of the of that. Yeah. The arm can go straight, or you can get a pretty deep one joint bend out of it, which is pretty impressive, not gonna lie. And then the wrist can, of course, do this, but that's more so for the transformation. Moving on to the legs down here, let's get these arms out of the way. They can kick forward that far and kick back that far. They cannot go very far back because of these things. They're kind of in the way, man. And then you can spread it about that much, which is pretty nice. And then you get a thigh swivel, and then the knee can bend to just a tiny bit more than a 90-degree angle. You get an ankle pivot about that freaking much, and then you get some slight up and down with that, but that's more for the transformation. Alright. Articulation's getting the gold star. It's decent articulation. You can move many of the components around, and it all looks very nice no matter what pose you get them into. So, yes, articulation, very nice. Very nice to see on a $35 figure. Holy hell, why is this thing so expensive? I don't understand why Transformers toys are as expensive as they are, but they are, and it sucks. Alright, let's get into detail. This segment I passed right over because I was so excited to do articulation. I love messing with Transformers toys, dude. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Looking at detail, there's rivets all over the place, man. There's just rivets and mechanical detail all over this freaking thing, and it looks so good. Let's just go ahead and say detail's getting a gold star. He looks really good. You know, he's got those thrusters there. The feet, of course, look amazing. Not sure why that's there. No, more for the transformation. He looks really good. It looks Cybertronian in nature, and somehow at the same time he looks like an Earth jet. That's pretty much the long and short of what you need to know. Detail, gold star. Rivets everywhere, mechanical detail everywhere. He looks fantastic. Now that I've taken a deep breath, let's get into the transformation. And there you have the Cybertronian jet mode, which honestly looks pretty freaking sick. Some very clever engineering went into this thing. For instance, hiding the fake part of the cockpit up here that was on his chest inside the legs, which honestly freaking ingenious, dude. I would never think of that. And then just using the gun down here as well as on the arm as well. It looks freaking nice. I really like it. Of course, rubber tip. How do I rate the transformation? Being honest with you, not all the pieces stay tabbed in. As you can see up here, obviously something's wrong, and yeah, I did everything exact and precise, tabbed everything where it's supposed to go, and still sometimes it stays together, sometimes it doesn't. So realistically, it's kind of up to chance. I wish these pieces stayed tabbed in, like you can see where they're kind of ratcheted, and it looks like there's pieces, hold on, it looks like they're supposed to like clackety clack clack in, but they don't. Otherwise, it's a very decent alt mode. It looks decent, but I will say, whenever you try displaying him, he's going to be resting primarily on his wings, and I could see that doing a lot of joint stress to the to these hinges over here for the wings. So I recommend displaying him primarily in his bot mode. Otherwise, this is a really good figure. I highly recommend it. If you want it, pick him up. If you don't, who cares? Personal enjoyment of this thing, gold star. Having this figure made me fall in love with the bot mode design of the Seekers. I absolutely adore the Seeker design in the Bumblebee movie. It's my absolute favorite. I wish we got more Starscream because I love Starscream as a Seeker, and I wish we got to see Megatron. I wish we got to see more Shockwave, but alas, this is what we got. Overall review, gold star. This thing is fantastic, dude. I love having it. I love having jet mode Transformers in my collection, and I love doing these things. To be honest, this guy's transformation is what put me off for so long, because I knew his transformation is absolutely kind of complicated. Yeah, it's kind of complicated. I understand there's more complicated ones out there, like the Studio Series Bayverse Bumblebees, but this one's pretty complicated too. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and rate this guy a gold star. Overall, he's pretty enjoyable. I really like him. The alt mode looks pretty fun, man. I love the way it looks, and yeah, the bot mode's pretty fun to pose too. So yeah, get this guy if you want him. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.